Hey guys, Rachel Youngson here from useplr.com and wholefoodplr.com. We are here with our weekly PLR Power Hour. This is where we ask questions, we get advice, we talk about resources, and some people choose to take this time to just carve an hour out of their week to just work on their PLR. And that's great too. So whatever brought you here today, I just want to say I'm glad that you're here and thank you. A lot of folks are here because last week we started a training with Christina Hughes in regards to Facebook ads. She did a lot of great stuff last week. If you weren't able to catch that training, on the Use PLR members group in Facebook, we have a nice little unit that will go over everything for you. For today, Christina, with all the super fun stuff that's been happening, her daughter was actually supposed to graduate at one day this week, and then they moved it to today. So obviously she's got bigger things happening today. So I kind of switched everything around a little bit. So one thing that we're going to do today is I'm going to walk through the homework that we had last week after talking to Christina. I did everything. It took me about an hour, but that way if anyone has any sticking points, we can go over that together. The other thing we're going to do is go into the Facebook group, go into our blog posts from our blogging challenge, and we're going to start to repurpose those into a report. For anybody who is new to these calls, what we're doing in our Facebook group is we're having a blogging challenge, which means every week we're committing to 1 to 2 blog posts. At the end of 4 to 5 weeks, we'll then have enough to put into a little report. We'll make an About Me page, we'll give it a cover and a title, and then we'll add it as a free gift, a free opt-in, free lead magnet on our sites. So it's a great way to not only make blog posts and get that blog engagement, but then turn around and get a free product out of it that you can then promote with these Facebook ads. So that's what we're into today. So we're going to start over here. I'm going to go ahead and share my screen. If anyone has any questions while we're going along, please feel free to drop me a message in the chat. If you're just like, who the heck are you? I was expecting to talk to Christina. Feel free to voice your opinion in the chat. It's okay. We'll navigate around everything. Joe says, congrats on the graduation. I know, right? That's what I told her. I said, it's pretty crazy, you know, but at least her daughter gets a graduation. I'm really thankful for that. A lot of kids in our area are still figuring that out. So, okay. So we're just going to do a nice little screen share here. First thing we're going to do is go over the homework that we had last week. So the one thing that Christina mentioned was there were some plugins to download, and there are also some Google Chrome extensions. You'll see I have a lot of nice little things going on. If you do not know what plugins are, you do not know what WordPress is, you know, don't worry about it. We'll get you squared away. So the first thing that I did was I just Googled Chrome extensions, and then you get your web store, okay? There's 2 extensions that you need to download here. And let me pretend that I got on my right page the first time. The first thing is the Facebook Pixel Helper. So once you just going to put that over here in your search bar, and then it will come up here. It's like right over here, this little smiley, or not him, this little thing. That's what it's going to look like. So, I mean, you can even do this now while I'm doing it if you want. I mean, whatever is easiest for you. So we added this guy, and then we also added this guy, which is the Tag Assistant by Google. So you'll just go over here again. You'll find the little happy guy, and then you should see a button over here that says add, and then you'll just add them. One thing that I like to do is I keep all of my extensions in a way that makes it kind of easy for me to find them, because as a lot of you know, I run an FBA business along with my writing business. So the first half of my extensions are all the FBA things because I need to get that information from Amazon pretty quickly. But then I have like my Google Drive, my Pixel, Tag Assistant, my color picker, and whatever the heck this thing is. Oh, I guess my Hangouts. But I have them all like clumped together so I can easily find them. So now once I've added that stuff, now it's time for me to go over into my plugins. So I added these plugins to the same site that I'm going to, of course, have my ads on, which is my Use PLR site. Hey, Marie, good to see you today, my friend. So when you're looking at your website, if you have a WordPress site, then you get all of these nice little options. WordPress is basically just an easy site manager. It makes life super simple. You'll go down to your plugins, and then you want to add new. So once you go there, then you get this nice little search. And the first one you're going to add is your, what did I do with it? The sad thing is I actually had them all like written down, and then I lost things. This is what I do. I write things down and then sometimes they don't stay where I want them to stay. The first one is the Insert Headers and Footers plugin. And that's going to be this one. Yeah, this one. Oh yeah, because it says active, duh. See? Telling you, I am on point today. But yeah, so this is the first one you'll insert. It's got like the little stoplight on the upper left-hand corner. And then the other one that you want to do is the Google Tag Manager for WordPress. So the next thing that I did was came over here and I just put in Now, here's the thing. When I got over here, the other thing, there's another part of the PDF that talks about SiteKit. So I actually activated this and uninstalled the Tag Manager because I like SiteKit a little bit better. But just for to keep everything in line, we'll go ahead and install the Tag Manager too. And then you just want to activate it, of course. Super simple stuff. Now, once you have your plugins all activated, now it's time to go over to the business page for Facebook. And that's where you're going to grab your pixel, and that's where you're going to start the fun stuff. When I started looking at this business page, I got a little bit intimidated because it asks you to log in, and I kind of felt like it asks you for an email and everything, and it asks for the business email of which you're going to be using. So at first I thought, well, I use Facebook with my personal email. How is this going to know that it's the same thing? But it does. So all of the pages that I have under my personal email, when I signed up to this business manager with Rachel at Use PLR, which is my business email, it was still able to find the pages and say, oh, hey, Rachel owns those pages. So don't worry about that. As long as you're logged into Facebook before you start your business manager account, it will all carry over. And then unfortunately, you can't use your groups, but you can use your pages. So what'll happen is once you log in, it will say verify your email, and then it will ask you to add your pages. And how did I do that? Let's see here. Oh, and apparently my pixels are already working, so that's good. let's see, what did I do? Okay, so I clicked on the events manager and then I went to, I think I went down to, I thought I saw something that said pixels somewhere. Maybe I'm a big liar. Maybe it's because I already installed them. But here is my pixel for Use PLR. What I did was, once I clicked that, once I clicked like get pixel, a pixel code came up. And I'm really sorry, I don't know how to get that thing back, but we should be able to do that with Christina next time. So if you have any trouble, let me know and we will definitely get you squared away when Christina is able to come back. But what I did though was once I got my pixel, I just copied it and then I went back over here to the, I believe it's appearance. Let's see. Oh, I think it was. Give me just a sec. See, this is what happens when Rachel wings things. Definitely not that. Oh, settings. That's what I'm missing. Okay. So we go down to settings. There we go. And insert headers and footers. And then you just paste your pixel code in here. Now, Christina also made a note, and I haven't done it, so I don't know. But if you have a Google code, you can also put that in here. You would just hit enter and then put your Google code right after that. I don't have one. I don't deal with Google very much. I don't know much about the Google side of things, so I just have my big thing here, my pixel. Then of course you save, and then it should start tracking. As you can see, that it started doing over here. So a couple of things to keep in mind. You want to be sure that you put your pixel on the site that you're going to be doing the ads on. You want to be sure that the pixel's on the pages that you're going to be doing the ads on. Very important things for Google, for Facebook and your site to be able to converse. After you do that, then congratulations, you've done all your homework, and you can sit pretty until Christina is able to come back and show us how to target our audiences and get into the nitty-gritty of creating our ads. So when she comes back, she's going to help us with that. In the meantime, though, we're going to flip the script a little bit here. We're going to go over into our blog posts, and we're going to start repurposing things. So for those of you who have been part of our blog challenge, congratulations, you should now have roughly 4 or 5 blog posts that we can use here. I am going to create everything, and I'm going to show you how to take those next steps, but I am not actually going to upload mine or anything right now. And the reason is because my blog post series is going to finish when we have this second half of this Facebook ads training. That's going to be the end of my series. So all right, so over in my WordPress, I just went over to my posts. Now I make different posts for different things, so I have everything broken down into categories. So I'm going to be looking for the category of blog posts and search my posts, and that way I will just be grabbing the things that have to do with what I used for this challenge. I want you to notice that I've also been getting comments on these posts, and if you're part of our members group, that's one thing that I really encourage you to do, is take the time to look over any posts that are in your niche and connect with those people, because that's going to make a big difference in terms of creating guest blog posts for them, maybe doing a JV partnership if you both have affiliate programs, or once you both have affiliate programs established, you can be affiliates for each other. But those relationships are really important to start. And if you see somebody who's in the same niche as you or a similar niche, it's very important that you start to build that foundation. So what I did was I took our power hours, and those are what I wanted to base these first. this first report around. The beauty of this is you can start like once you know how to do it, you can lather, rinse, repeat, right? You can say, okay, well, I'm going to make 5 posts based around XYZ. At the end of that, I'm going to turn that into a report. I'm going to then throw it into a Facebook ad, da 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 da. There's my life. And then just think about all the growth that you're going to get, all the insights you're going to get, because Facebook is really great with the insights. Christina's going to talk to us about, Christina gave us a word of caution about managing our money and making sure that we keep on track with our budget with all this and everything, which of course is very important. But either way, like even with the smallest budget, Facebook gives you so much information about your potential clients that it's kind of a big deal. So the first thing I would do, just super simple, just click over here, and then I would click on the actual link. And I mean, it's literally just as simple as copying this whole shebang, going into my Word, and pasting it. And it might seem at first like, what the heck are you doing? This isn't pretty. I'm going to enter a few times just so that I can kind of keep a little bit of blank space before the coding that I'm about to pull in here. But anyway, at first it might seem like, what are you doing? This is, you know, why are you just doing this? But we're going to pretty this all up. We're going to make this more more legible. We're going to make this into something that is more appealing. It's going to have your about me, a little bit about who you are, where you want them to go next. At the end, we're going to have a nice little resources page where it's going to link back, maybe have some affiliate tools, or I'm sorry, tools that you're an affiliate for, things like that. So it's going to be like a nice real report. But of course, before you do any of that, you got to get the meat in there, right? So this is chapter 1. And then we're just going to enter, go back here. Chapter 2. Now it should come up with the correct dating, and you'll just go to the latest, or I'm sorry, the first one and work your way backwards to today. But if it doesn't, just keep an eye on that published date, and that'll tell you. So see, what happens is you think initially when you hear, and I'm only speaking for myself actually, but when I first got this tip to repurpose posts this way, I thought, oh my gosh, how on earth am I supposed to turn posts into like a report? What the heck? Like that just seems like so much work. And I just don't really have the time or the energy or the desire. But in reality, it's really simple. And once you start to once you do it, it's kind of like that first meeting that you run, or that first Facebook page that you manage. Once you do it, it gets easier, and then it's just super simple. Also, I don't know if you can hear, but we've got lawnmower going in the background. So if you can hear that, sorry about that. This is one of my favorites. Free tools to make repurposing a breeze. Oh, love it. Because one of the things that we tend to think is if I'm going to repurpose my content, then it's going to be hard, right? It's going to require me to buy things. It's going to require me to learn things. It's just not going to be a fun thing. But there are so many free tools that are actually simple to use that kind of help with this process and make it take the pain out of it, take the sting out of it, I guess we could say. And that's one of the great things that I love about our group too, is that I I like to freely admit that I don't know everything about everything. I feel like I know a lot, but we learn like so much from each other in this group that I get real excited because there are times when I don't know certain tricks and someone will bring something to my attention and I'm like, oh my gosh, really? We can do this? And I love that actually. I love learning like different things from different people because I feel like that's why we're all here, right? So I'm going to take away this admin thing on everything because I don't want this to be, I want this to look like a report, right? I don't necessarily want this to be anything else. And while I'm doing this, while I'm kind of prettying this up, I think it would be a really good idea for those of you who have taken part in our challenge to maybe start to think about what you might want to title your report. And again, things don't always have to go together in these blog posts. So you can make 5 totally different blog posts about totally random things. It's totally okay. It's your blog. I mean, business-wise, of course, it's best if they work around your niche in some way, shape, or form. But ultimately, it's your space. However, if you get creative, I bet there's a way that we could still find to link all those blog posts in some way. Like, here's my 5 blog posts. They all talk about some aspect of my health journey, let's say. You know, so the posts themselves could be about depression, then obesity, then food cravings, or even like headaches. That's all related though. You know, like when we carry too much weight or we eat a certain way, sometimes that sugar causes us to have headaches. Depression can and obesity tend to be linked. You know, so if you think a little bit, then I really encourage you to find that common denominator and make that title around that. Again, doesn't have to be something that you go, it doesn't have to be a common denominator that you go into it thinking about, but still, it makes it a lot easier for you to then have this report that people are going to be like, oh, hey, I want to download that. I want to figure out what that's about. I want to learn more about 5 tools that changed your life, or the how you went from my 600-pound life to, I don't know, bikini season ready. I don't know. But you get the drift. So the first page up here is going to be my title page. And for right now, I'm just going to throw the title that I chose for these in here. On the surface, these are all power hours to deal with different things, different aspects of the blog challenge, repurposing content tool and the tools I use to do that. And then it finishes up with Facebook ads. So my title is going to be the best power hours to change your business. Or wait, I'm sorry, our top actually, let's do this. 5 power hours There we go. That's not a lie. I do believe these 5 power hours will change your business because, again, we're going to get into that whole lather, rinse, repeat with the blogs, and that's an important thing. Give me just a sec. I apologize in advance if I get the hiccups. Really weird thing. Whenever I drink soda, I tend to get hiccups. I don't drink much soda, but when I have headaches, I'm all about the soda. And then we'll do by Rachel Youngson. UsePLR.com. Now, this is my title page. We're going to make an image. We're going to make this a little bit prettier. We're going to, we're going to work on this. But for right now, this is my placeholder. The next page we're going to do is going to be my About Me page. Here's a really cool thing about my About Me page. If you've done any reports in the past, you can literally grab one as a template and use that as your About Me page. It's really, really simple. So for me, I'll go over to my releases, my past use PLR releases, and let's see, I should have it. Well, that's not it. So great. So apparently I'm not putting things where I think I am. That's okay. We'll just keep rolling. Tell you what, we'll grab it out of one of our free releases. We're going to copy this because we want a table of contents. And actually, we should put this before our About Me page. So look at me. That's the other reason that I love having templates, is because otherwise you'll just be going through things on the fly and you'll be like, oh, wait, that's not the way that I'd like to do things. Then we've got our About Me page right here. So we're just going to copy everything. Ta-da! Boom. Super simple. See what I mean? See how easy this stuff gets? We can make this look like a chapter. So we'll just go ahead, and I like to use Arial for my chapters. My headings are usually Arial 14, I'm sorry, Arial 16. My subheadings are 14, and then my general is usually 12. So this is going to be Arial 16. We're going to take this gal and ta-da, and then it should fit. Yep, fits. Okay, great. All right, so once I'm done printing everything up, then I'll come back to this table of contents. One trick that I like to do if I'm coming back to something, and I do this in every project that I'm creating, is I just highlight whatever it is I need to come back to. And that way, no matter what I'm doing, no matter what I'm up to, if I look at this like in a big view multiple pages mode, which is usually my final step to make sure everything like looks appealing before I take those last screen grabs for my sales page, I can see the highlights, and then I'll be like, oh, duh, I didn't finish this. It can be a pain to be reminded of the things that you kind of left hanging, but in the same sense, it's nice to know, it's nice to kind of have that check there instead of going through things and trying to remember. The other thing is, you'll notice in this table of contents, I call my about me my introduction. You can call it whatever you want. I have the chapters listed. I have a conclusion, which will also just copy off of my past conclusion. We have next steps, and we have resources. Now, the next steps, what I do is I list, this is who I am, this is how to get in touch with me, this is where you can sign up for my affiliate program, this is the sites that I run, these are my social media links, all that kind of stuff. My resources is where I talk about, these are the resources that we talked about in this guide, whether they're mine or somebody else's. These are affiliate resources, basically, that will help them take whatever they've learned here to the next level. And typically those resources are things that they've read about in this guide, because you really don't want to confuse people, you know, by just throwing things out there, and you really don't want to, people have things coming at them all day, and you really just kind of want to give them things that they, it's easy for them to see, oh, I do need this because we already talked about this, you know, I know what this tool is, so yeah, I would definitely love to click on this. So let's see, for the sake of continuity, we'll go ahead and call that an introduction, blah, blah, blah. Now I'm going to go ahead and change all of our things. So again, chapter titles, Arial 16. And then chapter itself, Arial 12. What changes is if it's a subheading, then it goes to Arial 14. Super simple. And I'm just going to do that with everything. I'll make sure that images like this are centered. There we go. We'll pull things up so that things look like they are aligned, like they belong. Now, one thing I'm going to do here is I'm going to remove this, the bold stuff, just because once I put it in a PDF, that bold is really going to stand out. When it's in the blog format, the bold subheadings are meant to stand out because a blog looks a little bit different. It's got a little bit more chatter, so shall we say, as opposed to a PDF. So I don't really need this to stand out so much in the PDF. And you'll kind of get the visual of this once we actually, once you start converting your stuff. It's amazing to see how different, like different fonts and different layouts look when they're actually converted into a PDF. So does everyone kind of do you kind of understand where I'm going with all of this stuff? I'd be more than happy to edit everything together, or edit the whole rest of this, but I'd really like to kind of move on so that we can kind of get everything squared away here for you, and I don't need to bore you longer than the actual hour. So feel free to drop in the chat, hey Rach, stay on this please, or leave me alone Rach, I've got this. Anything really, just feel free to let me know in the chat that you're good. So essentially, we will just go ahead and go through all of this and pretty everything up. Again, we'll drag stuff up. This, where it says see the replay, what I'm going to be putting here is the link to the actual power hour. So you'll notice on my blog posts, this doesn't actually carry over. But if I click this, if I do like a, that's a lie. See, you shouldn't lie. But here's my link. So I can do a couple of things here. I can do a screen grab of the main page, the main power hour box as it appears here, and then I can link it to that YouTube, which is what I would probably do if I had a little more time, which it's probably what I'll be doing after we end here. The other thing you can do is just throw the link itself in the report. That's fine too. Just remember that if you're going to be giving an image of your report, a screenshot of the inside of your report, pretty is what people tend to like best. We just like pretty things. I don't know. It's not really a girl thing. It's not really a gender thing. We just naturally, the eye is just like, oh, hey, I'm driven towards that. So I will probably be doing a nice little screen grab here where it says see your replay, and I'll be linking that directly to the YouTube. Might even put a physical link underneath of that too, just in case somebody prints it out. That's one thing that you do want to consider is if someone prints this out, is this going to be something that they can easily get whatever they need off of? I know it tends to be something that we don't think about a lot. It's not something that tends to happen a lot, but as the product creator, I just kind of like to take all those extra steps to be sure that I see around those kinds of corners, so to speak. I used to be a program analyst before I came online. And that's one thing that my program manager always used to tell us is how important it is to be able to see around corners that people might not be able or might not think to see around. Whether that is going to a meeting and bringing extra material, even though X number of people are supposed to come, because you're going to have that person who forgets to bring their material or drops it in a puddle or accidentally shredded their report instead of bringing it, just kind of seeing around corners because you are responsible for your portion of the people. So anyway, another thing I want you to note is that we will be making a footer in here. So again, just as simple as what did we do last time? We're going to just copy this and we'll throw this in here, and then we'll have to pretty it up because we'll have to put our page number in here. So let's see, insert. I have this feeling, and I could be wrong, but I am pretty sure I have so many people in here who do this stuff all the time. Like real quick, like I could name one by name, but I'm not going to. But I have so many people who do this stuff all the time that they're probably looking at me like, come on, Rach, get this done. There we go. All right, so now every page has my copyright, it has my name, it has my website, and it has, of course, the page number. So you're running down the street, right, and you trip over this handsome guy riding a horse, all your papers go flying everywhere, you can put it all back together. Congratulations, you've now got a handsome man on a horse, and you can put your report back together. So the great thing about using PLR to make your blog posts is that with PLR, once you buy it and you change it, it's yours. Like once you buy it, it's yours anyway, as long as you adhere to the rights. So you can always put this copyright on here. Doesn't matter that it came from like that you got the foundation of this from somebody else. Doesn't matter that it's not from somebody else, but from PLR. Doesn't matter. You can put your copy right here with your name. Make sure you put your web address. Don't give them any reason to just let this be something that they skim past and they're like, oh, okay. Who knows who made this, but this is a nice little piece of information, right? Make sure they remember who you are. I'm going to go down really quickly and I'm just going to show you the next steps page and the resource page. And I will also make a note to drop the file for you too. I can't do it right now because the file's open and you know that computers get real cranky with that nice stuff. But I'll make a note to drop the file for you guys too so that you have my layout and you can just copy paste and tweak. It's because it's a free report. It's not PLR, it's for personal use only, but as part of my community, I'm more than willing to let you use that so you can use that template. And I don't think we have, I know we don't have any shifty people here, but just so you know, I have a lot of eyes and ears on the ground, so to speak, who really look out for me and the things that I do, which makes me very blessed. So please don't put this out as your product once I send it to you. Okay, so let's see, we've got some great comments here. Karen says she's all good here. It's cool, thanks. You're more than welcome, Karen. Joe says all good, thanks. Inspiring me to get more done. I'm so glad to hear that, Joe. That's one of the things I love about these hours is that we kind of get this, I don't know, like this energy, you know, all of us together as a group. Carol says, got it, thanks, very helpful. Amy says, please do judge books by their covers. Yes, exactly. So we will be making a pretty cover for this. Or wait, did I say something about not judging a book by its cover? I don't know that I did. I might have. I don't know. Either way, we're going to make a really nice cover for this. Joe says, you can template your report files as well with your bio, header, footer, etc. Create a new copy each time that already has your biography, etc. in it, so you can crank things out even faster. Amen, Joe. And that's usually what, well, I usually don't do it that way. I usually just pull it from a Word document. That's just how I do it. But I do use a Word document as a template. And I'm so glad you said that because that's something that I really grill into people who all the time, is that once you do it once, you are able to create a template and that template will serve you to run your business faster and smoother over and over and over again. And that's where it's really going to make a difference for you because it's all about creating content, creating engagement, creating buy buttons, and all of that becomes easier with the templates. Charlene, who is super smart, even showed us a couple of weeks ago, well, talked to us a couple of weeks ago about how she outsources, or she is a service provider and she uses templates. And she's making really good, you know, her business is running really well and she's using templates. So for instance, I pay Charlene for something. She gives me completely unique content, but she knows what she's gonna, like she has set parameters that she's like, okay, I know what I'm doing. Here she is. She says, oh yes, I love my templates. I use them for writing, email sequences, and other things. So, I mean, these templates are really important. So don't knock them until you've tried them. So anyway, so we will just go right back over here. And then we'll go to the very end and I will grab the conclusion, the next steps, and the resources. And then what I'll be doing after we're done here is I'll be going back and changing these to reflect what's in this report that I've just created. Now, it's important to tell you that if it's something like free PLR, and especially since my theme is using PLR and repurposing PLR, I'll very likely throw those resources in there, even though I don't have them listed in the thing, because it's free. It's not like here's $1 billion tool you should really try. No, it's free PLR, and my mission is showing people how to use PLR. So it goes hand in hand, and it's self-explanatory. So all you got to do your nice little copy. Then you're going to paste it all at the bottom of your current report, and then you're just going to go through it. I'll be making sure that everything in my conclusion is standalone, meaning there's nothing in here that identifies this conclusion specifically to this social media report, that this conclusion should be like my introduction. It's something that I can use on everything. It's standard, basically. And we'll throw them over here at the very end, do a couple of enters, ta-da, there we go. And then of course we'll change it all on the back end. Now, let's do a little fast forwarding here. I've done my template, I've moved everything over, I've prettied everything up, okay? Now I'm going to get myself a nice image. I'm going to take that image over to eCover Authority so that I can create a nice little spiral bound image for this cover page, or even just have a blank square image with the title and the picture and not make it into a report or anything. But that spiral image or that report image that I make in eCover Authority still might serve you if you then put it on a sales page, that report. So we'll get there in just a sec. But anyway, at this point, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to look at my image. And one thing I like to look at is, of course, make sure it's royalty free, make sure there's enough room on the image for your title, and make sure you keep a little bit of space around where you're putting the title, because if you do decide to turn that into like a report cover, there's going to be a little sliver on the side. And if your text wraps around that sliver, it's going to frustrate the crud out of you. So that's my 2 cents on the images. Once you're done with all of that, you'll just go File, Save As, and you'll save it as a PDF. The other thing is you want to be sure you keep this Word version. Don't get rid of it, because obviously it's a nice template for next time. Charlene says, in regards to the templates, for instance, I have proposal templates for a few different services, and they make sure I cover the details without giving away too much. Isn't that great? Like, it's really nice, especially right now where we're kind of, some folks are still kind of getting their feet back, I guess, or getting their wings back, I guess, or whatever, in their businesses. Things were a little slow for a little bit, and being a service provider is a really great way to bring in that extra whatever you might be missing if you're not getting your financials met. So everything that we do, my goal is to make things as stupid simple as possible. I don't like things that hurt my head. I'm a lazy girl by nature. I don't like to put too much thought into things. But the things that I do, I want to make them quality. I want to make them help people, serve my community, and all that good stuff. So there's a balance there, and templates is one of those things that helps you find that balance. All right, so we have this, we have our cover image, just pretend it's there. We have a power hour on creating these cover images, and I will make sure that I get that I will make sure that is linked into the show notes for you. so that you have that. Let me just make a note here. All right. So we've saved it as a PDF. The last thing, we're almost done here. Take a couple sips of coffee. I swear you're going to get through this. We're almost done. The last thing that you want to do is think about how you want to present this on your site. There's a couple of different ways that you can do that. One way is to have this as an Aweber or ConvertKit or whatever, a report opt-in page, right? So you go to somebody's website. We're going to go to my website just because it's there. And they'll have, sometimes you'll see a report, sometimes you'll see like an opt-in sheet on this right-hand side over here on the sidebar, and it'll say something like, hey, opt-in for XYZ. That's one way you could do it, and that's, it serves its purpose, which is great, right? And, you know, if that's the way you want to do it, that's fine. For me, I will say that I used to have this PLR to profit report as a straight download, and it never became as popular as it did when it became a product on my site, a free product on my site. So if you go over here to useplr.com and you click this, then you're like, oh, look, I get a free gift. But then you come to this sales page, right? And you're like, oh, well, what is this? Then it says, oh, this is what it is. This is what you get. This is why it's amazing. But then you see this, and it's like, oh, it's usually $20, but for you, it's free. And people tend to like that a little bit better. It kind of shows that you want into, you did a little bit more of that extra mile kind of work for that. And they're seeing that it's got this value. They're saying everything that it's about, they're seeing that it's got this value, but it's free. And so now when they click buy now I've got their name, I've got their email, and they're in my shopping cart system. So brilliant, right? I use Amember for my shopping cart. There's tons of shopping cart platforms out there. Feel free to ask in the group if you have questions or if you need recommendations on that. I always recommend that you check the niche that you're in, think about the affiliates that you're going to be courting, and go from there. But doing something like this allows all of those benefits for you of having this go right, having their information in your shopping cart. It's more than, it's a step more than having them in an email sequence. Because the other thing you have to think about is if they're in your shopping cart, or you can take them anywhere from here. You can take them to a one-time offer. You can take them to a, like maybe if you're doing a membership, they could get like a $7 first month membership coupon. You know, you can do pretty much anything with them in this space. The last thing is, once you create all this stuff, you've got all this great stuff going, you're ready to drive those ads, and we can start driving those ads, but at some point you're going to want to be sure that you do your follow-up sequence. Do like 5 emails. Just say, hey, this is what you got. Make sure they're opening their stuff. Make sure the last part of your follow-up sequence is all about how they can connect with you, how they can take this a step further with you, all that good stuff. Make sure that you invite them to reply to you, so that you're a real person to them. You're somebody that they're like, oh, I like learning from you. I can learn from you more. So that's my 2 cents. Does anyone have any questions? Feel free to throw them in the chat box and we will run through them in the next 4 minutes. By the way, kudos to me, because I really know how to not shut up, don't I? Oh my Lord, sometimes I surprise myself with how chatty I am. If there's anything you guys need me to do a deep dive of, let me know in the Facebook group. We'll be more than happy to do that. We can do I can make videos of anything if you need like a more in-depth video, not a problem at all. Charlene says, well done, and it was quality chat too, not nonsense. I love you, Charlene. Karen says that was helpful. I'm really struggling with content and new to PLR and loving using it. So thanks. You're more than welcome, Karen. I'm really excited to hear that. If you're new to PLR, I don't know right offhand if you are, but please be joining our Use PLR members group on Facebook if you're not there already, and we will be more than happy to answer any questions you have. Also, we have a whole unit section over there where you'll be able to get all sorts of great information about PLR, like what it is, how you can use it, and because I'm a lazy girl, most of it is how you can use it dead easy because that's just how I am. And that's honestly why I'm in love with PLR, because it's like this nice foundation for me to jump off of. Carol says, great session, Rachel. Thanks. You're more than welcome, my friend. All right, folks. So I will be putting everything into the group from today. You will see our notes on Thursday. You will also see the links to our, I'll go ahead and put the files in for the social media report that I had here so that you could use that as your template and start that. I will also drop in that same comment the Power Hour Images link so that you have that as well. So take a look in the Facebook group in the discussion portion for all that stuff. And then on Thursday, you'll get the actual replay with the unit update and all that good stuff. And then, of course, we'll be letting you know when we have an update from Christina, when she's going to be able to come back and bless us. So have a great week, everyone. I'll talk to you later. Bye, Carol. All right, everyone. It was really great talking to you. I am so happy and honored to have those new guests here. So thank you for coming and joining in our mad party today. I appreciate that. Joe says, thanks for all the hard work, links and info in the Facebook group. Have a great week, everyone. You're more than welcome, Joe. Thank you very much. Amy says, thanks, Rachel. You're more than welcome, Amy. All right, my friends, take care. See you next week. Oh, for anyone who is still here, if you're on our email list, please be sure to check out today's email. I am participating in a fire sale for my dear friend and business coach, Kelly McCausey. And the email will go a little bit more into it, but basically it's people helping people. And if you would like to participate, let me know. I will be more than happy to point you in the right direction. All right, folks, take care for real this time.